to A Well-Designed Business. My name is LuAnn Nigara, and I'm so glad you found this podcast. Together with my husband Vince and our partner Bill, we have grown our company WindowWorks from the ground up. So I know and I understand the challenges you face in running your interior design business. I also know that your talent alone isn't enough to ensure your success. So on this podcast, we talk about strategies and practical steps to help you grow your business. But make no mistake about it, we have our share of fun here too, mixed in with those aha moments that I love so much. This isn't fluff. Nobody has time for that. Whether you are a new interior designer or a seasoned designer, I am here to help you create and to manage the kind of interior design firm that you dream of. It's straight talk and it's action. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hi, welcome to another episode of A Well-Designed Business. It's PowerTalk Friday. And if you've been paying attention to me on social media, you know that I've been teasing that I have a special announcement for today's show. I am, as you know, I've also been teasing out that my second book is coming out, and I've been saying it's coming out in February. But however, I have switched the date of the book release until March 30th, 2019. And there's a great reason for this. If you're not familiar with my second book that is coming out, it is called The Things I Learned from a Well-Designed Business. And what I have done is I have invited 12 of the PowerTalk Friday experts to join me in creating for you a go-to book to run your interior design business. So I have invited Fred Burns, Sarah Daniele, Nancy Ganskaufer, Eileen Hahn, Nicole Heimer, Claire Jefford, Peter Lang, Mark McDonough, Stacy Brown Randall, Shauna Lynn Simon, Kay Whitaker, and Michelle Williams, all to write a chapter in the book on their particular zone of genius. So you are going to have information on this book about attracting luxury clientele, about creating a design process, about charging what you're worth, how to build an exceptional team, defining your brand, managing client expectations, how to partner with your CPA for an effective relationship, how to create a killer Instagram strategy, how to generate referrals that keep your pipeline full, home staging for the interior designer, email marketing, funnels, and all of that good stuff that goes along with that, and how to run your business so it's profitable by creating profit as a choice. This is going to be like sitting here having the conversation of the podcast, but on a book on your shelf. So that when you think, what was it that Fred Burns said that luxury designers all have in common? What are those steps that I'm supposed to be taking in order to build a productive, exceptional team? Now you don't have to search the library of the podcast. All you have to do is turn around and take this book off your shelf and go to that chapter. And here's what's going to happen in the book. I'm going to write the first chapter. I shouldn't say I'm going to. I should say I have. Write the first chapter and the last chapter. But I'm also going to do just what you have come to love and you have shared with me that you love about the podcast. I am going to, at the beginning and end of every chapter, do my intro and outro, just like I do when I have the guest live on the show. I say a few words about that particular guest. I tell you what I think you should look out for, particularly in the conversation. And then when it's done, I tie it up in a nice bow and I make suggestions on how you can incorporate that particular guest's advice into your own interior design business. And so that's exactly what this book is. Now, launching the book has become quite a big deal. Yes, it has. It has grown from simply having it at our birthday party, which, by the way, is going to happen at the Kravitz showroom in New York City at the D&D building on February 5th. So the first idea was to launch it at the birthday party. But, it sort of started to take a life of its own. As you know, I have begun to run the PowerTalk Friday tour. I had one in Las Vegas in the summer of 2018, and then I had one at High Point Market in the fall of 2018. And I expected to continue around the country with 3 of my co-authors each time. And by the way, we're still going to continue to do that. And so I was sort of keeping the book separate from that in a way, meaning just keep going around the country with 3 authors at a time, blah, blah, blah. Launch the book at the birthday party. But you know how I always say to you guys that when you are done a project that you should run an autopsy of that project? We do that at WindowWorks. We go through every single order. When it's finished, it's completed, it's installed, and the monies are collected. And Vin takes a look at it, and he evaluates it for profit and loss, and he evaluates where the mistakes were made. And then we have a conversation in our Monday morning meetings. Thank you, Chad James, for that. Then we have a conversation on Monday morning meetings saying, well, there were 3 or 4 mistakes on this. These were errors in communication. And we get to the bottom of it and see how that we cannot have that happen again. And then, if you remember when I interviewed Susan Brunstrom, she said that at the end of every project, she goes through and does the same thing. She does it first with her design team, and then she does it with her business manager, and then she invites her client to lunch. And she takes a thorough analysis of what went well and what went wrong. It sounds like Claire's with Will, what I did and what I learned. So the thing is, that's Claire Jefford, by the way. The thing is that I have been doing that after the PowerTalk Friday live events, the one-day coaching events that I've done. And I want to thank Natasha Jones for standing up and looking at me. And by the way, if you were part of either PowerTalk Friday event and I asked you your thoughts on it and you said to me, I loved it, I had a great time, believe me, I value it, I thank you for it, and I know you were sincere. But Natasha has come to know me over these last several months, and she felt comfortable being completely honest with me. And so she shared her thoughts. She said, Lu, I wanted more of you during the day. And then the next day, I sat down with Natasha, with Sarah Lynn Brennan, and with Kelsey Gross from the Farmer's Daughters Interior and Sarah Brennan Designs. And I said to the 3 of them, tell me about the day. What did you like? What did you not like? What do you wish I did differently? And they all kind of looked at each other, and then Natasha said, well, I told you I wanted more of you. And as we started chatting, Sarah said the same thing. She said, because I said to them, guys, I had Michelle Williams there to teach you and talk to you about your P&L statement and about how to analyze your financials. I can't do that. I mean, you listen to the show, I can't even add and subtract, right? And Sarah said, I know that. I know that you need to have these experts with you and with us in order to really drill down to the finite parts of the different business practices. It doesn't make sense that any one person is expert at all aspects of running a business, right? None of us need to even strive to do that. My goodness. But she said, I like when you ask the questions. I like when you paraphrase it and summarize it for me. And she said, and I like when you teach us how to apply it to our business. And so she said, I loved listening to Claire Jefford yesterday and Michelle Williams and Stacey Brown Randall. They were excellent, and I learned some things. But her and Kelsey and Natasha said to me they wanted to have my filter on it. And so that was the germ of switching around the way PowerTalk Friday tours would be. And then we started thinking about, me and my team, what could we do? What should we do? How can we make this truly an amazing experience? And so here's what's going to happen. In New Jersey, in Short Hills, at the Hilton at Short Hills, on March 30th, March 31st, and April 1st of 2019, I am gathering all 12 of my co-authors, and for 2 full days, I am going to do 12 live discussions so that you have the opportunity, just like they did, the 18 designers that came to the 2 PowerTalk Friday tours in Las Vegas and High Point, you have the opportunity to learn a little more in depth and get into the little more of the nitty-gritty of what each of these experts teaches. But you'll have me there, just like I do on the podcast and just like I do in the panel moderations. If you've been to any panel discussions that I've had across the country in the last year, go a little deeper. someone not just talking at you and it's not even glossing over. It's talking at you and you don't have the opportunity to have the conversation stop the way I do, right? What do I say? Wait, back up. Do I mean you to say, or do you mean to say this? Do I understand you to mean this, right? So that's what we're going to do. And here's the other element that I really love that we're going to add to this is I have invited, in addition to the 12 experts that will be there, my 12 co-authors, I have invited 12 past interior design principals that have appeared on the podcast and that I know for a fact have proficiency in the area of expertise for each particular author. Okay? So that's going to give us that voice on the stage that is not an expert who may or may not have directly applied the principles to a real live interior design business. So now many of them will have had the experience of coaching with interior designers one-on-one. By and by, almost the whole roster is dedicated strictly to the industry. However, being an interior design principal and actually doing these things, or even being a part of a big firm, and maybe that's your responsibility, one of these areas, is sometimes often different. The execution of it is different than the understanding of the how and why to do it. So imagine this. This is what it's going to be like. We are going to have 2 full days. We're going to start at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to go to 11 o'clock at night. And it's going to be insane, intense, invigorating, and absolutely amazing. And you are going to have discussion after discussion after discussion. So I will be on the stage for every discussion. It will be me, one co-author, and one interior designer. And we are going to go for about 35 minutes in the topic. And you know what I'm saying I'm going to do, if an expert, suggests this, that, or the other thing, then I'm going to look to that interior designer and say, was it that easy? How did you actually do that? What happened when you did it? Did it work for you the first time, or did it work for you the 5th time? And what happened when you made your corrections along the way? So you're really going to understand it. And then we're going to change. 2 more people are going to come up there and we're going to do it again. And it's going to be crazy. I mean, it's going to be so insane. I actually cannot wait. It's going to be so exciting. And so here's the thing. On the 3rd day is an opportunity for a VIP day. So the basic ticket price, the general ticket admission, includes the first 2 days for the live events. If you're interested in a VIP experience on the 3rd day, what we're going to do, and now this is where it models a little bit like the smaller, intimate PowerTalk Friday events that I've been doing. Because I don't want to leave that behind, because it was very powerful. And everybody that I've asked about it said that that was one of their most favorite parts of the live 1-day event that I've been doing. So on the 3rd day, I can't have 200 or 300 of you do this 3rd day, because then it completely negates the intimacy that I'm trying to replicate in the 3rd day that's been so successful in the PowerTalk Friday tours at Vegas and High Point. So 3rd day, it's going to be limited to, I'm going to tell you what, I know I should have this, decided at this moment, but I don't really know if it's going to be 50 designers or 75 designers. And so honestly, there will be a cutoff point, and you're not going to have notice. I'm sorry. When I make my decision, it'll be based on some factors that are outstanding at the point of recording, but the doors will be closed. That's it. So because this 3rd day, you will get up, you will have a full sit-down breakfast with me, my team, each of the co-authors, and each of the designer panelists that were on stage the 2 previous days, and the sponsors that have sponsored the event. And we will sit and we will have breakfast in round tables, and that'll be nice, and it'll be a chance to get to know each other and talk in a much quieter sort of level energy environment, right? Because the first 2 days are going to be insane. I'm just going to tell you, it's going to be like so much electricity. It's going to be ridiculous. So that 3rd day, We'll have breakfast, and then we are going to split up into round tables where we can have some of those more in-depth conversations. And that's why that day will be limited. What I want to tell you about that is that in the previous 2 days, you're going to be able to ask questions. I'm leaving 30, 35 minutes for questions, but it's not the question in my office, that won't work because, you see, when you've got 200 or 300 people in a room, that kind of question doesn't work, right? You ask a clarifying question, you ask a question, how did this, how did that? But you still have that. I tried that in my business, it didn't work. And you need the time for that 10 or 15 minute thoughtful response and question and answer back and forth so that we can get to the root of how it can specifically help you. So that is the point of that third VIP day, to give you an opportunity. So between 14 of us, 12 co-authors, myself and my husband Vince, and 12 interior designers that are successful and at, a level in their career where they're in a position to mentor and help you. That's, I may have 2 in a round table plus one of us, or 3 in a round table plus one of us. So we're specifically making it very small, okay, so that you have the opportunity to ask those questions. And so that's that. And so the thing about it is that in addition to these crazy, jam-packed, content-filled, insane, no fluff, no nonsense conversations over 2 days, I'm going to wrap in all the other things, the networking, the book signings, the music during the day, and the chance to relax and interact and hang out with each other, okay? So I have to tell you, I really, really, really fully believe that this is going to be a very special, very remarkable, unique opportunity. I have been going to events across the country the last several years. And of course, I love High Point Market. I love Atlanta Market. I love Las Vegas Market. But you don't get the opportunity to, in 2 days, see 12 in-depth discussions that are specifically designed to help you be more profitable and more productive in your interior design business. It's just not possible. You just cannot get that at any other conference. But I am bringing basically the exact podcast format that you have come to like and rely on and go to as your resource for helping you understand how to run your business, for helping you set up systems for running your business, and for helping you stay motivated to be the best business person that you can be. I'm putting that together in a live event for you. And I have to say, I'm so jazzed. I mean, honestly, so jazzed. I just think it's going to be remarkable. And really looking forward to it. Now, by now, you might have already looked at your calendar and noticed that this is literally the Saturday, Sunday, Monday before High Point Market in spring 2019. And what am I going to tell you? That's how it is. We've got Mother's Day, we've got Easter, we've got Passover, we've got college graduation weekends. We have a show house here in New Jersey. The Valerie Fund is running a show house here in New Jersey that will open up on April 25th. And it's going to be a really terrific show house. Lots of great designers. Gail Davis is going to be in it. Marina Umali is going to be in it. Leopold Design is going to be in it. Sarah Robertson is going to be in it. Mimi and Wolf is going to be in it. I mean, there's amazing designers that are going to be in the show house. So I am not going up against that. I don't want to take traffic away from that. So this was the weekend that it fit. And that's what it is. And so you won't be disappointed. I promise you. You absolutely will not be disappointed. All right. So here's the deal. Celebrity designers, or actually, it's so hard, that word is so crazy, but profitable, smart interior designers that we have come to really respect their episodes on the show and know that they are really doing their business right, that are already committed to the event include Sandra Funk. I know she's one of your favorites, right there, right? Sandra Funk, Rachel Cannon, Candy Scott, Corey Damon Jenkins, Taylor Spellman, I'm trying to think. These are some of the designers that are committed to being at the event so far. And as we, share more and I remember more, we'll put more out there on social media. So make sure that you are following me on Instagram and Facebook. And actually what you should be doing is you should be on my email newsletter list so that you get all of the updates and you don't have to worry about scrolling through social media feeds to find out what's going on. And you know that you can be on my email list by texting 444-999. 444-999. And when the field opens up, you put in Design Biz, DESIGNBIZ, Design Biz. And then it'll take you one more screen to put your email address in and we'll get you on our email list, okay? So here's the other last bit of information that you need to know, aside from you need to get here, okay, is that we are with today's launch on the podcast in real time. If you're listening, it's December 21st, 2018. We are doing the, call it what you want, early bird, introductory price, whatever you want to call it. But that is going to run from today until January 8th. And that early bird price is $395. The VIP ticket is $200 extra. Now, here's what I want to tell you about that $395. I'm going to tell you flat out. That $395 price is designed for you to hear that and go, how can I not be there for that price? Honestly, because many, many, many of you have reached out, have asked me about my one-on-one coaching, and dozens of you have availed yourself of it. And if you're one that has, you know that 1 hour of my coaching is $425. And of course, it goes down if you buy blocks of 6 hours. It goes down to $300, okay? But this is 2 full days of access to me, 12 experts in our industry, and 12 interior designers that are successful for $395. So it will go up to $595 on January 8th. And that's that. So here's the other thing you need to know. The Hilton at Short Hills does not have 600 guest rooms, okay? So, and because we are going to go from early morning to late at night, here's what I would tell you. If your brain went, I have to be there, then just pull the trigger. Just save yourself the $200, book your room, and know that your life is going to be sweet for 2.5 days. Okay. Of course, there are other hotels in the area that you'll need to Uber back and forth if you're from out of town. But I would encourage you to sign up soon, sign up early, reach out to a friend and ask them to split a room with you. The rooms are very reasonable. They've given us a terrific rate, especially for the level of the accommodations. But why not split a room? Make it even more reasonable for yourself. What's interesting is I looked at a couple of different places to have this event. And one place I really, really liked a lot. The staff was really terrific. This was before I went to the Short Hills Hilton. The staff was really outstanding, and the venue was nice, and it just was great, except that I have to tell you, the place needed all new drapes, and it needed a new color lift. And I just looked at it, and I thought, we can't be here. This is not our vibe. It just wasn't us. It was, and I literally said to them, look, at the very least, you've got to redo the window treatments in the lobby and this main area. And if you'll do that, and I happen to know somebody who can do that for you, I'll think about having the event here. And of course, they weren't interested in that. So, but then when I walked into the Hilton at Short Hills, and that's really right around the corner from my showroom, from my window work showroom here in Livingston, I hadn't been there in about 8 or 10 years. And I expected the same thing, but jackpot, they just redesigned all of the guest rooms and all of the main areas of the hotel. It is gorgeous. Okay. It is absolutely gorgeous. So, it feels like us. It's just, you're going to walk in and it's like, yes, we're here. Let's kill this for 2.5 days. And so I'm very happy. Now, we have a lot of sponsors that have signed up already and are already supporting the event. This is how come the ticket price is able to be this low, because quite honestly, you don't put on an event at this size, for that amount of a ticket price. You just don't. The money doesn't work. The numbers don't work. So we have some sponsors that have signed up already. Designer Inc. is on board. Kravit is on board. My Doma Studio is on board. Wingnut Social is on board. Schwartz Design Showroom is on board. I don't think I'm missing anybody. We've got 2 or 3 others that are probably going to let me know the second I get done recording this episode. But certainly as the other sponsors come on, I will make sure that we let you know who they are and who are the brands in our industry that are interested in helping bringing great quality content to you. Okay. Now, I will say one other thing about that VIP experience. I want you to do something. I want you to go back and listen to episode number 14, Mulaney B. And this is Mulaney Barnett. And I love Mulaney. She is really, truly, this is what I love to call her. She's a fierce woman. She is somebody who knows who she is. She is somebody who stands in her space, and she's gorgeous inside and out, and she by trade is a surface designer, and she designs wall covering and textiles and carpet and rugs. But the thing and the reason why I want you to go back and listen to this episode and then consider the VIP experience on the 3rd day is because Mulaney has licensing agreements. For sure, I know she's got one with Kravit for her rug line. I'm sure she probably has others. I'm not up to date on them. But I remember back in that episode, I asked her, how did this come to happen? How did you end up, does Kravit just call you up and say, hey, Mulaney, want to make some rugs? And she said, sort of, kind of, but not really. And what she said was it came down to relationships. She expressed how that she had been for several years in a row buying booth space at a trade show. And I don't recall off the top of my head if it was ICFF or it was BDNY, whatever it was. And she said the one year she was, walking, the aisles right there in your little booth, and you talk to the people around you, and she met one of the gentlemen from Kravit. And they struck up a conversation. And the next year, oh, yeah, hey, remember you from last year? And then the next year. And she said in the 5th year, he walked over to her at her booth, and said, Mulaney, when are we going to work together? I think it's time for us to work together. And that's how it was born that she was to create her licensed area rug and rug collection with Kravit. It comes from establishing relationships. And so that's the other reason why I invite the sponsors to attend that breakfast and to be part of that VIP day experience. Because it's not just about the sponsors wanting to learn about you and wanting to entice you to make accounts with them. It's about giving you the opportunity to meet these brands in a non-confrontational, a way without expectation, a way that just says, hi, this is who I am. This is what my business is like. Who are you, and what's your company, and what's your services like? So that's what I love about it. It could be, for one of you listening, it could be that you meet one of these brands at the LuAnn Nigara Live, It's About the Conversation event, during that VIP experience that becomes a conversation between you and that brand. Okay? So I really think I've kind of thought almost every single which way that I can add value for you to this event. And I hope that I'll see you there. I think it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be off the hook. I'm just going to say it's going to be absolutely off the hook. And I hope you'll join me. So it's called LuAnn Nigara Live. It's About the Conversation. And we will launch the book. Oh, and I forgot the big scoop. Okay, sorry, can't go yet. The big scoop, in addition to the $200 savings if you sign up between December 21st and January 8th, is that every person that signs up for the event between December 21st and January 8th, your name is going to go into a drawing to win a one-on-one coaching session with one of my co-authors or myself or my husband, Vince. So that means 14 designers are going to win a one-on-one coaching session with one of these experts that can, who knows what it unlocks. And when I tell you, if you do this at the $395 rate and you are one of those winners, you've already gotten your value before you've even walked out the front door of your studio. I mean, it's a slam dunk. So this is what we're doing. All right. So I'd love to see you there. I'd love to welcome you to this. And I want to just say to the designers that have attended my PowerTalk Friday live events at Las Vegas and High Point, you know what I've said to you. I've said to you that you could have 20% off the big event that when I did it, you could have 20% off. So you know who you are. I know who you are. And I've also extended that opportunity to my mastermind group. Okay. So, and they know that too. So there are benefits to being on the inside with LuAnn, right? I love, you know what it is? I love to just do whatever I can to make it worth your while so that you look and say worth every penny. Whether it's a one-on-one coaching session with me, a PowerTalk Friday tour event with me, or a mastermind with me. Okay. And if you decide to come to LuAnn Nigara Live, it's about the conversation. You then move into that space where I have to see how I can do anything and everything I can do to help you be more profitable and be more successful. Okay? Go over to LuAnnLive.com. LuAnnLive.com. And I'm just going to tell you, I think it's pretty funny. If you listen to every single show that I've had, the 360 some shows, whatever it is, you know that my one stepson, Matthew, he nicknamed this thing when I would get into a group in our family, in our home, and we'd get all of our kids together, and it would be, you know, a Memorial Day party or a Christmas party or whatever it would be, when everybody would get together and I get more and more happy the more and more my people were around me. He would look and he goes, uh-oh, there she is. She's live. And so I think it's pretty funny that this is called LuAnnLive.com. I just had to share that with you. I think it's hysterical. And that's really the truth, though. The more and more of my people that I have around me, my friends, my family, my colleagues, my baby designers, my peers, the more live I get. And that's exactly what this is going to be. It's going to be an extremely informative, content-driven, fun event, one of a kind. You're not going to regret being at it. I promise. I won't let that happen. Go to LuAnnLive.com. Sign up. I hope to see you. In the meantime, I hope you have the happiest of holidays, the best new year ever. And I just want to say, what are you going to do? What are you going to decide to do today after listening to this podcast? Are you just going to go over and decide to invest in yourself, invest in your business, and join me in March 2019 for LuAnn Nigara Live? It's about the conversation. Have an excellent day.
Thank you so much for joining me again today. This podcast is a production of WindowWorks, your resource for custom window treatments and awnings. To learn how we can help you on your next interior design project, go to www.windowworks-nj.com. And if you're interested in working with me on your business, either through masterminds or one-on-one coaching, or you want to know how to get my book, The Making of a Well-Designed Business, or you just want to know what's going on in the podcast land and where I'm going to be, all of that is found at LuAnnNigara.com. Thank you so much. Have an excellent day.